Mike, we're getting unconfirmed reports from Tehran that explosions were heard throughout the city late last night. One blog has a live feed of Iranian anti-aircraft fire. Another has images of a damaged U.S. Navy destroyer. The report we just gave isn't true, but with the way the corporate media is carrying on about war with Iran, how much would it surprise you if it was? Welcome to Collateral.
Wait, let me ask you this. What is going on with the president talking about World War III?
What the Iranians are doing is killing American servicemen and women.
Of course, I don't think that's banging the war drum.
It's ideally suited for attacking targets in Israel. It's got just the range you'd need for it.
Sabers are rattling in the Middle East. Iran is defiantly testing its arsenal of missiles and has vowed to continue its nuclear program. The U.S. has responded by demanding that the tests stop, promising ominously to defend its interests and those of its allies, which means Israel.
Well, the question was, if Iran were to launch a nuclear attack on Israel, what would our response be? And I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. We would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that.
Meanwhile, the cable TV blathersphere is dutifully ratcheting up the hysteria.
We should have bombed somebody in Iran, then we'd bring them to the table, just like President Nixon did to the Vietnamese.
These people are bent on destroying us, General. They want to kill us.
These people are out to kill us.
Just a few months ago, remember, there was a confrontation in the Strait of Hormuz that put us, as one newspaper reported, 2 minutes from war. The conventional wisdom is that a military confrontation with Iran would send the price of petroleum skyrocketing and trigger who knows what kind of chaos. Sane people in the U.S., which is most of us, obviously don't want that. Yet why aren't we hearing that view trumpeted on the cable TV news programs? If the corporate media wants to do something useful, it should analyze the behind-the-scenes moves on the part of the U.S. government and its lobbyists to bring us closer to war with Iran. First, it was recently revealed that the U.S. is ramping up its covert special operations in Iran, a preparing of the battlefield effort, if you will, as recently reported by The New Yorker earlier this month. By itself, that should cause outrage. Second, the Israel lobby in the U.S. is trying to goad Congress into provoking Iran. House Resolution 362, which is being pushed by the American Israel Political Action Committee, calls for a military blockade of Iran. Now, Iran would almost certainly view this as an act of war, as does international law. Yet were this to pass, and if the Iranians retaliated, you can be sure that it would be spun by the government and the press as a first strike from the Iranians. Now, the resolution may not get passed, but that doesn't mean the situation is safe. Those who are hell-bent on war don't need a real provocation. An imaginary one will do just fine. Just recall the fabricated Gulf of Tonkin incident of 1964, which provided the excuse for the first large-scale U.S. military involvement in Vietnam. But as we've since learned, there was no second attack by the North Vietnamese in the Gulf of Tonkin, no renewed attacks against American destroyers. It was a false report, but by repeating government propaganda as though it were the truth, the corporate media helped pave the way for an unjustified war that took an incredible toll. It's doing it again. The bottom line is, the war profiteers and their front people in Washington would like nothing better than another opportunity to panic the public, spill its blood, and fill their wallets. With a lapdog corporate press and an American public that doesn't care to look behind the scenes, they might just get it. Hope to see you next week.
That old Beach Boys song, Bomb Iran? Bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway.
Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran.